So today we're going to be taking a look at the 2021 Volvo XC90 T6 Inscription with the all-wheel drive. So this XC90 is finished off in black, and then one thing about the Inscription is you get these really nice looking 21-inch rims. I think they look really nice. Now before they had done a little redesign back in 2020, these rims were a little different. They looked kind of similar, but instead of being black in the middle right here, you can see they were just all silver. And I think the new ones actually look really nice. And then they put some chrome here, and then the grille used to be kind of more of an outward design, and now it goes kind of in with chrome. And I honestly think it looks really nice. You don't see a lot of brands doing chrome anymore, and I think on the XC90 it just looks really, really good. So Volvo's always been known for their safety. Actually, the XC90 is the only car that, since it's been built, has never had a reported death in an accident, and that just proves that Volvo truly only builds for safety. And then coming around to the back, you can see that it's pretty nice looking design. It looks like pretty much most Volvos. So you have your long taillights, and then your T6 and all-wheel drive badges, your XC90 badges, your chrome strip, and then the dual exhaust. XC90 has the T6 Inscription, so you have about 315 horsepower with all-wheel drive. Now you can get a Polestar tune that is straight from the factory or from Volvo and Polestar, and it makes it a little bit quicker, and honestly, I would recommend that. It does kind of help with its performance, but it still drives really, really nice. Volvo by far has some of the best headlights. They have the turning headlights, and then down here you have cornering lights. These are the turn signals, of course, that look really nice. And then you have little turn signals right here on the mirrors. And then in the back, you have your full LED reverse turn signals, which just look really, really nice. But I must say, these reverse lights right here are not LED, and that does kind of bother me. Now, to get into the vehicle, you can either use this key fob, which is finished off in leather since it's the Inscription trim. And you can press these buttons right here on the side as long as you're panicked, or you can use the Volvo On-Call app to unlock it, or just simply grab the door handle and it will open. Now taking a look at the interior, you can see you have this really nice white pour wood and then the Harman Kardon sound system, but you can get a Bowers & Wilkins, which just sounds incredible. You have really high pitch finishes right here, same with your window controls, a little Volvo pad, and then of course all of your customizable seats. Now this does have the white interior. You can get it with black, dark brown, and like a yellowish interior. Let's hop in. So right away you can see Volvo has a digital display. It's not super customizable, but I did customize it so my map is in the middle and so that it has red versus navy blue or different type of looks to it. You can also see it has your speedometer right there, your mileage, your gas mileage, the location you're at, if you're going to be inside the lanes or not, and the time and all that stuff. And of course it does come with heads-up display. Now going from there, if you had the Bowers & Wilkins, you would have a nice little speaker right here. This is the Harman Kardon, so you still have something pretty nice. And then you have your nice big touchscreen right here. I'd refer to it like an iPad. It's really easy to use, honestly. Over here is all of your sound settings, your driver performance, the Sirius XM, radio, Bluetooth, and then, of course, this is your main button. Or you can use this to just kind of swipe, and as you can see, it'll tell you what to do. Let's swip over here. You have all of your controls. So you have your lane keep aid, your sport mode, your park in, park out, camera, your headrest fold, so you can press this button and it will fold your second row of headrests down. Now back over here, you have your heads-up display, your wipers. You pretty much have everything you could ever want over here. It's very minimalistic, which I love. And then you have your wood trim right here. This is to help with the climate. This is to, of course, open your glove compartment, which does have a nice little cooler inside of it, your hazard button, your defrosters, you know, all the pretty easy stuff. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the gloss black right here. I know the XC60 gets matte black or plastic, and it doesn't smear as much, and I really like that a lot better because this, I notice I just get so many fingerprints on it. And then you might be thinking, is the white steering wheel going to get dirty? And honestly, no. This one has 33,000 miles on it, and it's really not that bad. It's actually in pretty good shape. Another thing is you do have these nice little lights right here, and if you click this, your rear fog lights go on, which honestly at night is a really nice feature. And if someone's coming up on you and they're going to ride your butt, you can just click this and they normally back off pretty quickly. It's not your actual brake lights, it's just an additional set of lights. And I really like it. And if someone is coming up on you fast and you don't see it, Volvo will automatically turn those on so the person behind you sees it. Or if you hit the brakes really hard, they go on. It's basically just a really nice safety feature to make sure people can see. And then over here, you of course have your normal shifter. Now in 2022 or 2023, I know they went to like more of a glass looking like shifter. I don't know. I like this. It's super easy to use, really comfortable. Just keep your hand on while you're driving. You have your 12-volt outlet right here with very, very little storage right here. And of course, it's a nice little wood trim right here. You have your wireless charging port, two cup holders, which don't really fit that much in here, but it works. Then you have your start the car on and off, your drive mode selector, your parking brake, and then your auto hold button. And one thing I did forget to mention is that it has heated and cooled seats and a heated steering wheel, which you need that. And I must say, these seats are some of the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in. They were actually designed by an orthopedic surgeon, multiple of them, and you really feel that when you sit in the car. It's just so incredibly comfortable. No, it's not a Suburban or Expedition when it comes to size, but truly, these seats are so incredibly comfortable. The doors are so thick. You know you're in a safe car when you're driving this. It's also worth noting it does have a little thigh extender, and that is just, that's chef's kiss comfortable. And then, of course, since it's a Volvo, it has a nice little Swedish flag right here, which I really, really love. Now, jumping into the back seat, it is actually really comfortable, and you do have easy entry right here. So if you're loading the kids first, it's super easy. Noticing right away off the door, you do have sunshades. So if you have a kid in the back seat and you want to keep the sun out of their eyes, or you're like me and you just want to keep the heat out, really nice and useful. And then you have all of this. You have your little lock button right here, which is super handy, and then nice little door storage. And of course, this is illuminated at night, which is really nice. And then let's take a look. So this has the captain's chairs. It was actually pretty hard to find the XC90. It just started, I think, in 2020, if I'm not wrong. And I really like it. It's not super usable. Like, you could easily hop back into the third row, which I'll show you in a minute, or you could simply just pull this lever right here, which will scoot the seat up. Now, sitting in here, I'm sitting behind my current driving position, and I am 5'9". So as you can see, I have plenty of legroom. You have a little rear storage right here, your climate control right here for the back. It's usable up there, and then there are heated seats back here, but I'm not entirely sure how you turn them on. And then down here you have 2 USB-C ports, some storage, and 2 cup holders. And then of course this is all open. But one thing Volvo doesn't do is they don't put any armrests right here, unlike most cars. So I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do with your right arm because it kind of just sits there. It's also worth noting you do get air vents right there, your little light up there. I think that's for hangers. Another thing for hangers, your grab handles. And yeah, overall the back seat is actually incredibly comfortable. I have had the middle bench here before, and when you have the middle seat, this is not here, this part is, but you don't get these cup holders. It's just a part built into it. And then looking from the back seat, this is what the front looks like. Of course, most of them will not have a cord dangling like that, like the dash cam that I have, but you can see it just looks really nice and clean and simple. And then you also do have a nice big panoramic sunroof. And then let's take a look at the trunk space. So you can either use your key, you can use your kick to start, or you can use the button inside. And of course there is the one right there. So don't mind the mess. I do have a lot of stuff in here right now, but as you can see, there's a bunch of cargo space. I mean, I have this big blanket, a couple bags of groceries in here. You do have a nice little, you could use this as a grocery holder or even as a net thing. And then you have a privacy screen that can go here. For the third row, you actually get nice little storage, which we'll look at in a minute. And then, yeah, it's actually really big back here. You can haul a lot of stuff, especially with those seats folded down. And then under here, there is just a spare tire. If you get the one with the air suspension, you can actually press 2 buttons right here, which will either lower or raise the back end to make loading things in much, much easier. So as you can see, I just kind of threw all my stuff back here so you can see it a little bit better. But with the third row up, you don't have that much space, but you have enough where you could fit at least maybe a carry-on or 2 back here. And then if you had this seat down, you could fit a little bit more. But these are manual. They are not power adjusting or folding, so you have to do all of that yourself. But honestly, it's not bad. Now, entry into your third row, that's where it gets a little confusing. So you can either use this button right here, and it can push the seat and slide it forward, but it's very heavy. So I've found that you have to kind of go like this to move it. I think if a little kid was doing it themselves, they might have some struggles. And one thing about the white interior, they have dirty shoes. It's definitely going to make it a little dirty. But as you can see, the seats on the back are not the same quality as they are up here, but I still think they're really high quality. I mean, they're still super comfortable. And climbing in, which is definitely a challenge. Let's fold this seat up just so you guys can see what it would be like. Pull this seat back. It's definitely a process, and I'm not going to lie, I am 5'9", and my head is currently touching the ceiling, but I mean, what are you going to do, I guess? Could be worse, but it's not bad. In the sense of legroom, so this seat is slid, I think, almost all the way back, if not all the way back. I have a good amount right here. It's not great. Obviously, I could put my foot up like this if the person doesn't have anything right there. Kind of depends on your person. The seats themselves are not huge. I'm kind of falling off of it a little bit. You do have some nice storage right here, but if you had 2 larger people back here, I think it would be tight. You could do it for a few hours maybe, but not cross-country road trip. And then, of course, you do get cup holders on each side and little hidden storage, and it's kind of cool because it's like a little spider web right there. And then the third row does get rear air vents and rear air control, which is really nice. And you have speakers right here. And of course, since it's a Volvo, there's an airbag. Now, I've actually found that getting out is a lot easier than getting in. All you have to do is fold this lever up, push the seat, it slides forward, and you hop out like so. But I'm not going to lie, if I did this every day, I would probably just have my kids crawl through the front, and I would not get white seats. I would get black interior, because I know kids are messy, and I would just have them jump through here and get out. And then to fold your rear seats, it's actually easier than it is to pull them up. You just flip that, push them down, flip that, push them down. I wish they would have given you a little tether so it's easier, but again, I didn't design the car, I'm just reviewing the car. And so yeah, that was the 2021 Volvo XC90 T6 Inscription all-wheel drive. If there's any other car reviews you want me to do, let me know, leave them in the comments. Head over to my TikTok, The Daily Driver, on there as well. You can see a bunch of more content I post on there more regularly than I do on YouTube. But yeah, let me know if there's any other cars you guys want me to see, and thanks for joining.